All right, hello and welcome everybody back to the stream. I'm your CFI. I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Today we're going to be back in the beautiful A2A Comanche. This is probably one of the best general aviation airplanes you can buy for the sim. Decent price, and it's a very decent, well, it's more than decent of an airplane. So we're going to be doing a full flight today from Brampton which is Charlie November, Charlie 3, over to Kingston, Charlie Yankee Golf Kilo. It's about an hour en route or so. Maybe we'll try to get the city, a city view. We'll go to the coast and take a little city tour down there on the way. And yeah, right to the full walk around procedure. We're going to see if we can find anything wrong with this airplane. If you guys don't know, this is a fully living and breathing airplane in the simulator. Meaning as you fly it more and leave it outside and do all sorts of stuff, and depending where you park it and how you leave the airplane, it will degrade its engine life, flap structure, all that kind of stuff. You can find things that are broken, degraded oil, and all sorts of different cool stuff. So really, really awesome airplane from A2A. On the side of hardware, on the right-hand side, we're going to be using our Moza Yoke. On the left, we have our wing control Orion 2. This is set up obviously for a fighter, but I'm going to be doing a DCS stream after, so I just have this set up for this because I can just swap them out nice and easily for DCS. If you guys do want to check out the Moza Yoke, be sure to check out the link in the description down below, or any of the hardware in the description down below. We're using the Wing Control Orion rudder pedals as well. Good set of rudder pedals are very important for these type of aircraft and helicopters as well. But anyways, we're going to get the show on the road. You guys can check out all the channel partners as well at the top. Sorry, not the top right. Oh yeah, they are in the top right, but also in your channel description, you'll get all the links to channels, discount codes, whatever you guys want to see down there. It's all in the description, so feel free to do that. Joining in chat, we got Hatch. Welcome, welcome. Johan says, "Fam, big up YGK." Yeah, we're gonna be going to Kingston. Kingston, fun fact, is actually my very first ever night cross country flight. It's my first one. Was there. David, hello. Oh, that's not David. Sorry, it's D3. Hello, welcome. With visual degrade, it should. Yes, it will have a visual degradation on the actual airplane. When you do the walk around mode, you will be able to see the difference in the airplane there. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We're going to start in the walk around mode here. You know what? Let's not start in the walk around mode. Let's start in the airplane, and then we're going to go ahead and bring up our checklist here. A2A flight info checklist. So before engine start, there should be like usually these type of airplanes have a way to set up for the walk around. You don't just like do a walk around, but usually you'll have your flap set to the fullest extent. Control lock will be removed as well for a walk around. You would have came in here, turn your battery on, check your amps, check your fuel gauges, make sure all that kind of works. So there's a couple of things you'd want to check before doing a walk around, gears down and green and all that kind of stuff. So usually the checklist would guide you to do that, and then you'd go out for the walk around. So I believe it's fully clickable, I'm pretty sure. So you can see I can put the key in the cargo door there. I can close it. You can wiggle the flap to see if they don't come up in their... you might want to make sure that they don't just freely move. They're nice and locked in their position. You'd also want to crouch and look at the actual hinges in real life. We're not going to do that. Move the aileron up and down. You can see, you'll be able to check the hinges as well. Interesting to have no static wicks on these airplanes. Kind of interesting. But it's actually important to check your... do the walk around in this airplane. A lot of airplanes it's useless, but in this airplane it's actually important because you can actually find something that is not correct. We can open up the fuel, and we have nothing in there, so we'll close that back up. Checking the leading edge of the wing. The light looks great. We can remove the tie down as well. We can remove the chalk. We can check the fuel in the wing over here. Should be a way to zoom, but I can't zoom for some reason. There should also be a way to dip the tanks. I think if I go back over here, I might be able to There we go. You can walk right on the wing. So you can see we have blue fluid in there, 100 low lead. There should be a way to dip this, though. But maybe not. I believe there is. I just probably don't know how to do it. But we'll close it back up. Go back to the other side. You can see our windows all closed. The antennas all look fine. This should be our ADF antenna, if I'm not mistaken. That long string there. Usually COM 1 and 2 will be at the top. The navs will be at the back, so VOR 1, 2, ILS, that kind of stuff, and then ADF runs. Usually the temperature gauge will be at the top as well. Wouldn't know where it is on this airplane, and GPS would be at the top usually as well. Looking at the front strut. I don't know why I started on this side. Usually, most times you'd start on this side on your walk around. You start on the pilot side, but everybody has their own flow. But usually, like in real life, I'd start on that side of the airplane, but we started on this side, so I'll carry on for now. You can check the prop. I don't think you can turn the prop. It's not advisable that you turn the prop. But you check in there, any bird's nests and things like that. Check your oleo. Check your exhaust, air vent. Everything looks fine on there as well. Usually about 3 to 4 fingers on the oleo is good. This side again, you should be able to dip the tanks, but I have no way of knowing how to do that, so we'll close that back up. But anyways, there's definitely a way to do that. You can check the oil as well. So I don't know why I can't zoom, but we have, let's see if I can get closer to this. I believe that's 5, there's 9, so but just under 9 quarts. That's great. The oil looks like a nice nice oil too. It's not too dark, so it's not too cold. It doesn't look corroded or not corroded, but it doesn't look like any contaminants has gotten in there, so that's all great. Move the chock, move the tie down. Come down here, we can remove our pitot cover. You can do the little stall warning test there. I don't know why you can click on the pitot tube, but you check for any bugs, debris that gotten in here. If there is anything, you check the drain port as well. Make sure it's all nice and clear. This light looks great. All fine on this side. Great. Oh, I got stuck. Checking the leading edge. Everything looks fine. I don't know if this one models bird strikes, like if they actually would have a bird strike model. We can remove the tie down. Checking the connections there. It's one massive stabilator, which is kind of interesting for this kind of airplane. Same with the rudder. Doesn't move a whole lot. It's probably because it's connected to the nose gear. So probably on this type of airplane, you wouldn't actually want to move the rudder in real life on a walk around. And then you should have some fuel sumps. There should be a way to sump the fuel, which I usually do first in real life. I don't know where that is. Usually on these type of airplanes, they're kind of on the side over here. So I thought they'd be on the side. Did not know this plane is so detailed. Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, it's very, very, very detailed. It's A2A is the like cream of the crop when it comes to general aviation airplanes. I'm just trying to find the fuel sumping section. I hope it's not below the wing because I won't be able to get too low. The only Piper I've ever flown with a Piper Seminole, and that was on the side right here. You'd be able to sump the fuel like that. But what I'm talking about, guys, have you ever seen them do walk-arounds and you take a little cup and you can siphon the fuel out, and you're going to want to be checking for any water, any debris in the fuel. For some reason, I can't crouch anymore, so I'm just kind of stuck up here. Like, for example, in the 172, the RNS model, they have 13 drain, 5 on each wing and then 3 under the nose. So we'll say it's checked because I can't even crouch or find them. But I'm assuming they're under the wing and or under the nose, and I can't get to them. So we'll say this is completed for the time being. And now we'll jump back in. So we're going to be starting our flight from Brampton to Kingston. It'll be a VFR flight, so I have no GPS. Well, I have a GPS. I'm not going to use it. We're just going to go by my knowledge of the terrain and that kind of stuff. I kind of know where I'm going around here, so we'll be fine on that. Pre-flight check completed. Passengers have been briefed. Seatbelts are secure. Control locks have been removed. Parking brake is set. The gear switch is in the down position, as you guys can see right there. Flaps are up. They're mechanical. Radios are off. Well, everything's off. Avionics Master is off. It's important to check this stuff too, because you could leave this airplane, as I said, like the last time you shut it down will save, I'm pretty sure. So you want to check all this stuff. Electrical switches are all off, which they are. I'm going to move this over here. There we go. Circuit breakers are all in. There's only 2. There's no way there's just 2. There's no way there's just 2. There has to be more for like the lights and things. Okay, well, I only found 2. And rotating beacon on. Okay, well, there's no battery power, but sure, we can turn that on. Engine start. We're not going to use the checklist for this, but what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to turn the battery on. I'm going to immediately go check our oil temperature. Now, you see the oil temperature's in the below the green there, so it's a cold oil, which means we're going to have to prime the engine. If this oil temperature is in the green, it means it just flew. We don't have to prime the engine by squirting in fuel. We can just go ahead and start it and crank it. But because it's cold, we're going to do a cold start procedure. So things to do with that is get the fuel on. So there's our wingtip fuel and then our main tank fuel. Put on main tank fuel. I'll move this a bit more to the way. We're going to insert our full mixture. This controls fuel to the engine. This controls the amount of air that gets to the engine. And this controls the actual RPM of the engine. It's a constant speed prop. We'll kind of talk about it a little bit more later. But let's go ahead and go full rich on the fuel. And now we're going to go ahead and prime the engine. We're going to put a little bit of fuel in the engine. Now, on a cold, it's not too cold outside. And so we're going to do maybe 4 pumps, 4 squirts of fuel. And then be sure to lock that primer again. We're going to go ahead and put the prop to full. And then we're going to add a little bit of throttle, just a 1/4 inch of air, just so it has a little bit of air to breathe. I like to explain, let me turn the battery off for a second. I like to explain engines in real life whenever I taught them as like a barbecue. The way you start at barbecues, you need 3 things, right? You need air, you need a fuel source, and you need an ignition source. So we have our fuel source is mixtures full rich. You have your air source is the outside, obviously the outside ambient air. And this allows air into the engine, maximum air into the engine, the least amount of air into the engine, right? And then you need an ignition source, and those are your spark plugs. Sorry, your magnetos, and then your spark plugs. So that's going to go on both. So the magnetos create the spark that gets sent to the spark plug. So fuel, air, magnetos / spark plugs are the ignition source. We're going to go ahead and press and hold the starter button, and she should fire on up. Sometimes this airplane likes a little bit of a pump of air, just like that. So just putting the throttle in, taking it back out, and we're going to idle around 1,000 RPM. Looking at the front. Yeah, I couldn't crouch. You need to toggle back to walk. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know the controls for Microsoft, but yeah, I'm sure they're there. But we're going to say they're good. So now we're back idle at 1,000 RPM. It's very important that we're going to go ahead and lean our mixture out. There's no point in shoving a bunch of fuel in on the ground when we're going to be near idle all the time, because if the engine's not requiring all that fuel, by meaning I'm not going to be running at a high power setting on the ground, the fuel can start to build up on spark plugs and it'll start to corrode them a little bit. So we're going to lean out the mixture. We're going to take some fuel away from the engine's air to fuel mixture per se. And then as we go to takeoff, because our elevation's pretty low around here, we'll set it back to full rich, as much fuel as the engine needs. Sometimes in higher mountainous airports, you're actually going to lean it out for best power, but it all depends on your air to fuel ratio, and that's how we control that. So we'll go ahead and turn the avionics master on, and all our avionics are going to turn on as well. Oh, this is really cool. You can see that when I turn the cameras on, my Moza yoke is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just kind of shaking a little bit. That's pretty cool. Turn those back off. So, it's kind of weird this is a taxi checklist, not really going to do that either. Go ahead and clear this. All that is cleared out. We'll get our Garmin up. We're not really going to use it, but we'll leave it there. We're on the Brampton frequency. There's no one on... Oh, you know what? Let me connect to VATSIM. There we go. I don't think there's anybody online, but anyways. Let's go ahead and check our heading indicator. Make sure this matches with our compass. So it's 055 on the compass, and we're showing 055. Usually in real life, those aren't that synced. Altimeter's a little off. We're going to press the B button. I have it set. And we'll set it to the altimeter. It should be 930, 920. So that's perfect right around there at the Brampton's elevation. And we're all good. If you guys didn't watch my stream yesterday, I'll quickly show you this. It's very cool. You can go to the maintenance section, go to the engine analyzer here. If I add fuel, it should change the diagram, I think, a little bit. Probably when I actually get in the air. We have a new engine. You can check. You can have it used. An auction engine, which is kind of funny. Electrical system. Right? A lot of really cool stuff. You can inspect your engine. Everything's being fine. You can inspect your airframe. Right? Really cool stuff you can do. You can, you know, add whatever you want. I kind of want to get rid of the wingtip fuel tanks. You can change the type of propeller you have on board. So really cool stuff. You could change the type of GPS you got loaded up if you'd want to do that. Gyro drifts enable gyro sound, metric, tablet volume, warning volume, cockpit persistence. Let's turn that on. Realistic parking brake, yes. What's that? I don't know. Didn't really do anything. What's an advanced? Rudder trim, speed, three-way gear, original prop lever. Oh, that looks kind of cool. There you go. Turbulent strength. So tons of stuff you guys can change in here if you are so willing to. Let's go ahead and release our parking brake, and we're going to go ahead and taxi out to the run-up circle, which is just straight ahead. So I'll make a radio call to the Brampton frequency that we're actually, we don't really give taxi calls here, so I'm just going to keep going. How to lean the mixture without pulling too far back and shut down the engine. So in real life, and I don't know about on this airplane, but this 172, you can actually twist the mixture if you want a more precise way to do it. I don't think this one can do it, but I have it set to a slider, so I can just slowly slide it out. It's only about an inch or so you want to take it out, but if I take too much fuel away, you're going to hear the engine start to die, right? We don't want that. We just want to decrease the fuel just a little bit. All right, run-up circle's coming up. We're going to perform a run-up, which means we're going to check our engine. The wind's pretty dead. I guess we'll face into the wind as much as possible, which is going to be, we're going to turn around and face that way into the wind. So we'll be taking off runway 26 today. We'll be taking off that direction. We're using Active Sky and RealCat Turb, by the way, guys, and we're also using Track IR, so I'll be able to fly my traffic patterns all nice and good with that, and taxi around a little bit nicer as well. So we're going to hold full yoke up, and what that's going to do is going to relieve some pressure off the nose gear, and we're going to nicely turn it around here in this run-up circle, and we're going to face into the wind. Together with brake, with brake and with rudder. And we'll get it stopped about there. Make sure the nose gear is straight, and now we can stop it. Always idle at 1,000 RPM. Don't want to leave the engine idling at 0. Alrighty. And we can go ahead and set the parking brake. I'm going to turn off my track IR for this portion. We're going to do the run-up procedure. So let's move this again somewhere over there. Flight info, checklist. We'll do the run-up. I didn't do my brake check, but we know they work. Anyways, positions into the wind. The brakes are set and holding. Fuel quantity is checked. It's kind of weird to check now, but anyways, yeah, we have enough fuel to get there. Our fuel selectors are on the main tanks. Our mixture go to full rich. Okay, guess it went here. Throttle to 2,000 RPM, so we're going to increase. A little bit of sound glitches there. Brakes are holding. Always want to make sure your brakes are holding, and in the winter, don't get on a patch of ice. Try to avoid ice as much as you can. Alrighty. Let me know what the volume is. I'll decrease that a little bit for you guys there. Engine instruments, oil pressure, oil temperature, fuel press, ammeter check. You can check all of these here. So oil pressure's in the green, temperature in the green. Fuel pressure's in the green, oil temperature in the green, oil pressure's in the green. Our amps, the battery is still being charged, which is good. You don't want to see this amp meter in the negative. That means the battery is being drained. If this is 0 or positive, it means if it's 0, the battery's not being charged or drained. If it's in the positive, it means it's being charged. The battery's being charged by the alternator. We can also load up the check. So fuel pump on, landing light. Let's do everything electrical. We'll turn on. We'll check the amps are still remaining good. You see if I cycle the pitot heat, see how it has a bit of a cycle of load, but it goes back to 0. So that's all good. Leave the beacon on. Strobe, landing. Fuel pump can come off. Magnetos check. So we're going to go to a single magneto. We're going to go to the left magneto. You should see an RPM drop of no more than 125. So left magneto. 100, good. Back to both. Right magneto. Whoop. That one's a little worse. It's about 200. So let's go ahead and lean our mixture out here. I'm going to try to burn off any carbon composites that's on there. I've noticed that in the simulator, the magnetos are very, very sensitive. In real life, they don't break that easily, and they don't clog up that easily with carbon composite. What I'm doing here, guys, is I've leaned out my mixture on only the right magneto, and what I'm attempting to do is get the temperature in that engine really hot. If you start to starve an engine of fuel, fuel also acts as a coolant. So if I start to starve the engine of fuel, I'm getting it pretty hot in there. And by doing that, I'm hoping that we can burn off any of those carbon composites. So we're going to leave it like this just for a little bit right now. Alright, let's go back to full rich. There we go. Look, that's a lot better. See how we did that? Now we're only about 120 drop. Let's go back to both. Alright, let's do the test again. Right magneto. 120. That's within tolerances now. We go back to both. So that's checked. That's how you can do that, guys. Alrighty, prop. We'll cycle 3 times. So the first time we're going to cycle the prop, we're going to watch the RPM. There's the drop. Second time, the prop is this one, by the way. The second time, we're going to watch our manifold. The manifold gauge should go to the outside air temperature. The engine should, as you guys can see. So it's trying to go towards, in this case, today is 2988. So that gauge would probably stabilize around there. And the last thing we're going to check is the oil pressure. The propeller governor works off oil pressure. Or oil. So, and that all works. That's perfectly fine with me. Carb heat will wait a minute. Oh, I actually wanted to do it at 18 for some reason. But anyways, carb heat check. We're gonna put carb heat on. Carburetor sometimes can build up ice, so we have a carburetor heat to melt any ice and prevent ice as well. Now what this does, this puts hot air in the engine. Hot air is less dense, so you should see a loss in power here. See that? We've lost some power because that air is hotter. Now I'm going to do an idle check as well with carb heat on. I want to make sure the engine can idle. Can hear your voice clear, but sim sounds a little low. I can put the sims back up. There we go. The engine's idling nicely. Let's do carb heat off, and let's go ahead and back idle to 1,000 RPM. You never want to leave the carb heat on the ground for too long and taxi with it, especially. You don't want to taxi with it because it's unfiltered air. So, you know, if you can be sucking up all sorts of different stuff in there. You don't want to do that. Alrighty, that completes the run-up checklist. Let's go ahead and we'll taxi out to runway 26 and we'll do our before takeoff checklist. The parking brake is off. We're clear right and we're clear on the left. Put the track air back on. Take a drink of water here. Learn new stuff about the magneto tanks. Yeah, no worries, my friend. Yeah, it's a little trick. Again, in real life, the magnetos aren't that like sensitive. I find in the game like they're pretty weak. they shouldn't go bad that easily, but they do here. Now we'll be taking a left turn here on Alpha. Clear left there, clear right over there, crossing this runway. Don't forget actually to re-lean your mixture while you're taxiing. That should be at the bottom of that checklist, but hope you guys are enjoying this so far. This is the A2A Piper Comanche, a very, very realistic aircraft in this sim. Probably the most realistic airplane you have. This and the Aerostar by A2A are fantastic. Alrighty, we're going to go put the camera on. Move that camera a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to turn off my track IR there so we can do our last little bit of checks. And we'll be good to go. There's no, this fence in real life isn't here. Alright, let's come to a stop there. Just going to hold our brakes and we're going to idle at 1,000 RPM. Nope, hold the brakes. 1,000 RPM. Nope, not that one. Before takeoff check is controls are free and correct. Full left, full right, full left, full right, full up, full down. Check our rudder and they're free and correct. Elevator trim is neutral. That's a good question. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? Yes, we are set to neutral. Weird place for a trim, but that's where Piper likes it. Doors are closed and latched. Flaps are 0. Fuel selectors on main. Fuel pump. We can turn the fuel pump on. Mixture full rich. Propeller full forward, which it is. Carb heat is off. Engine gauges are checked, all in the green there. Pitot heat is not required. Strobe lights will grab, and the landing lights as well. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. We'll get our strobe and landing light switches on. Make a quick call to the traffic that we're taking the runway, and we're doing a southbound departure. We'll head to the lake, and then we'll turn left towards Kingston. A bit of a longer way to get there, but it's a little cooler. Bram traffic, Bravo Fox Alpha is landing runway 26, departure to the south, left-hand turn up. Get that yoke up to relieve some pressure off the nose gear there. Wind is pretty calm, so we shouldn't have to worry about too much of a crosswind. Now this airplane, like all airplanes of this type, that was a pretty bad lineup. The propeller spins to the right, so we're going to need a lot of counteracting rudder. But if you guys are ready to go, I'm going to release our yoke pressure here. Full power. Speed's alive. Alright, we're going to rotate on back. A little bit of trim. Gear up. Beauty. Alright, we're climbing away at 2525. I'm just going to bring my prop back just a little bit. There we go, 25 squared is what we call it. We're going to get to 1900 feet at circuit altitude, and then we're going to be able to turn off course. So in Canada, we have to get to circuit altitude first, and then you can depart the circuit. You can't just leave on a downwind or leave on a base, something like that. Beautiful day to fly. There's 1900 feet there. That's circuit altitude, so we can go ahead and depart the circuit. Bram traffic, Bravo Fox Alpha is a mile to the west of the field, 2000 coming 2400. We're departing the circuit to the south. Always want to check before you turn. Oh, it looks like we have Toronto Centre online. They're probably going to yell at us because I'm technically should be under Toronto Centre's control, but in real life that's not a thing. In real life that's a fully uncontrolled airport. Let's go ahead, I'll get the cameras off, we'll contact Centre, because he's probably going to want to hear from us. And then we'll carry on.
Can I forward back to you? Read back correct, it is Alpha.
Let me find where my squawk thing is real quickly here. Should be on Alt. There we go. Should have been on earlier. Toronto Centre's Golf Bravo Fox Alpha just departed Brampton 2 miles to the south. Would like VFR flight flying to Kingston, please.
Golf Bravo Foxtrot Alpha Toronto Centre, squawk 0145.
0145, Golf Bravo Fox Alpha. 0145. 0145 is set.
Bravo Foxtrot Alpha identified 2,200. Maintain 2,500 for now. Toronto altimeter 2987.
2,500 and on 2987, Bravo Fox Alpha. And we'd like passes through the city zone as well on the way to Kingston if possible.
Roger. Air Canada 489, cleared ILS runway 24 left.
Cleared ILS 24
All right,
left.
attitude, power, once you get to the speed you want, and then we're going to trim it off.
Pakistan 782, report airborne, clear for takeoff runway 23.
Go ahead and parallel these roads. That should take us right to the lake. It's kind of strange. They got us at 2,500 feet.
For Canada 1136, the apron's under control, pushes at your discretion.
All right, guys, what we're going to do is set 2,300 squared. It's a good cruise, so let's bring the manifold to 2,300. And we're going to go ahead and bring the RPM down to 2,300. That's what the blue handle. That's this one right here. All right. So I've set 23 RPM, 23 on the manifold. It's important that your manifold never exceeds your, not never, but try not to let this number exceed that number. Always want to have this one higher than that one.
Clear to the Quebec City Airport, Verdo 7 departure equals transition. Out of runway 23, squawk 6546.
Toronto Pearson on the left-hand side.
1138.
Not modeled, but
1138, read back correct. Alpha's current. Push and start is at your discretion. Advise ready taxi.
Thanks, Hatch. Appreciate it.
We advise for taxi, Aircan 1138.
Gonna fix my altitude a little bit, 80 feet high. Just gonna nose down a tad bit. Now this airplane does host an autopilot as well. You can, it does work quite well. We're gonna put the gear in the up.
Bravo Foxtrot Alpha descend to 2,000.
2,000 Bravo Fox Alpha. That's more like it. That's usually what they do real life. We'll do power added to trim, reduce our power just a little bit. And we'll start to descend here. ATC wants at least 500 feet a minute from a general aviation airplane usually.
Toronto Center, you are identified. Climb flight level tree 0. Traffic's off your 12 to 1 o'clock. They're Comanche 2,500, descending 2,000.
For constant speed prop, for all constant speed aircraft prop? No, not all, but most general aviation constant speeds. 2,500 squared for the.
Foxtrot Alpha, you'll have a heavy 777 passing overhead. Caution the wake turbulence.
I'm scared now. We checked that. And Bravo Fox Alpha traffic's can say.
Roger.
Yeah, not for all constant speed props, but for most of the general aviation ones, 2,500 squared for a climb, 2,300 squared for a cruise. Should work out quite well. There comes 2,000, so power added to trim.
Pakistan 782, turn right direct Namgi on course.
Turn right Namgi for Pakistan 782.
Canadian Express 021, Cleveland Center offline. Surveillance service terminated. Change en route. Good day.
Going to en route, Canadian Express 021, thanks for the ATC.
There's the lake coming up in the front. So we're going to hit this lake, and then we're going to turn left, and we're going to get a nice little view of the city, which is not loading all too well right now. Let me go and turn the... Where is it? Oh, that's why. Good old... Good old Auto FPS has another update. I'll do that. Alright, we're going to force it to 200. Nope, not 1,200. 200 and... Go.
Canada 452 taxi.
Canada 452, runway 23. It is Bravo now. Altimeter 2986. Taxi via Alpha Hotel.
Alpha Hotel 23 here, Canada 452, and we'll check that.
Alright, we're going to bring up the scenery. Yeah, so we're going to hit the lake, and we're going to go ahead and turn left when we hit that lake there. Now we're VFR, so we don't have to tell them that we're turning left and all that stuff.
The city center altimeter is 2989. You cleared through the control zone.
2989 cleared through the zone. Bravo Fox Alpha, thanks. All right, let's check 2989. About there. Now, if I remember correctly from my VFR days, going eastbound, you're going to be more over the lake, and then westbound's over more of the city portion. So we're just going to go straight over to the water here, and we're going to bring it left.
Hello.
United 1340, Toronto Center, Squawk 3303.
Squawk 3303.
All right, let's do that turn. Oh, I'm descending massively. Let's go back inside.
And United 1340, you're identified at flight level 400. You are unfortunately 10 miles south of my airspace and will remain outside basically for the entire time you're near us. So you can head back to Unicom 122.8 and have a good flight. Have a good flight to San Fran. Canada 489, welcome to Toronto. Cross 24 right. Where are you parking?
Cross to 4 right parking spot 139, Air Canada 489.
That's Flight Streamer.
Air Canada 489, Roger. Taxi via Delta.
Has to be.
Alpha Kilo. Cross runway 33 right.
Taxi with Delta Alpha, Alpha Kilo cross runway 30 right, Air Canada 489.
Is that Flight Streamer? I shouldn't talk on set. I'm gonna get banned. Oh, I'm gonna get banned, guys.
I got 1136 ready for taxi.
Oh, they all sound like Flight
Air
Streamer.
Canada 1136, runway 23, ATIS Bravo, altimeter 2986, taxi via Alpha Hotel.
Alpha Hotel, runway 23, information Bravo, 2986 for the altimeters.
So we're gonna head over here, and we're gonna turn right and just go past the city there. Oh, sweet! I had a flight tonight, guys, to Cincinnati, but it was at 7:45, but it just got
452,
pushed
airborne,
away, and I got
1607,
reassigned to
perfect
going to
takeoff, runway
DC.
23.
Watch your bound for takeoff, 23 Canada 452.
At 8:55, which means I can stream a bit longer tonight. I'm planning a DCS stream later tonight, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying this type of content. I'm having fun doing it. Looks like we're in a descent, but we're a little bit. Is there a corridor over Toronto IRL? Yeah. Yeah, if you look at the VFR, it's called a VNC, but you guys will call it the sectional chart. There is a corridor goes between the city here. You know what? I have some real life pictures that I can actually post in the Discord. If you guys want to go check out the Discord in a second, I'll wait after we pass this city, and we'll do some cool cinematic shots. But this is a perfectly legal thing to do. Notice the bumps are getting a little worse around here, and that's because of all the mechanical turbulence from the city. Take a screenshot of that. But this is the downtown Toronto City Tour. You can do this legally. It's a pretty nice little flight to do. You got the
Bravo Fox
Air Canada
Alpha.
Center,
You said
actually
you wanted,
Scotiabank Center now.
5,500 to Kingston, correct?
5,500 works for us, yeah. Whatever works for you, Bravo Fox Alpha.
I mean, yeah, I got nobody down there, so whatever you want should work realistically.
All right, we'll climb up to 5,500, Bravo Fox Alpha. Thanks. Well, you assigned me 2,000. All right, guys, go do power attitude trim. Actually, we'll do attitude power trim. Sorry about that. Let's bring our nose up. We're going to go ahead and first we're going to add the prop to 25. And then we're going to add our throttle or manifold to 25 as well. $25 squared for the climb.
Toronto Centre, good afternoon. Skyway 60 heavy is 55 miles.
Now we're going to trim for it.
The London BOR flight of 370.
Do more of an en route climb, maybe a 150 or 140 or so.
Toronto Center, squawk right in.
Squawk right in. Skyway 60.
Total departure gate of 452, 2,000, 5,000.
How busy does the airspace get through the corridor? I get nervous flying
270.
New York City one because it's crazy busy, but I'd love to fly the tower someday.
Skyway 60, heavy identified,
It
flight
gets
level 370.
pretty busy near the evening, but if you can go like on like a Wednesday at like noon, you should be able to get approved. You'll need to get approved to get
Air
into the
Canada
zone.
452, direct Verto on course.
We're already on course, I can get a 452.
Sorry guys, I'm looking through the my camera roll for the pictures to send in the chat there. See if I still have them. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so if you guys go check out in our Discord, go check out the IRL aviation section. You'll see some pictures of what we just did right there. If you guys are just joining us, thank you for joining. We're flying the beautiful A2A Comanche,
we are ready for taxi.
one of the most realistic airplanes in the simulator. We're flying from Brampton over to Kingston, both in Ontario.
Way to this 777 entering the apron in front of you. They're going to 139.
I find myself always looking at the VSI during climb and descent in GA planes, while in the airline I look at the pitch than VSI. Well, you're going by speed, right? So it's not. This doesn't really matter too much. It's about what speed you're going to be climbing at. So pick a speed.
Clear for takeoff from
for example, like if you're lower and you want to get the best rate, you'd climb at VY. So I don't know what it is in this airplane. We can look it up. But VY is. Oh, this one's 2400 max. Okay, there you go. See, written right there. So let's do 24 on the prop. 24. There we go. Learn something new. 2400 squared there. So there it is. VY is 105. So basically I would set my climb power, which I have, and then I'd pitch up to 105 knots and I'd hold that. And no matter what this says, I just want to make sure I'm at my VY, and that is going to be my best rate of climb, if that makes sense. Normal climb 120, so we're just past normal climb. We're at 140, so we're just kind of doing. We're doing a more of an en route, just a nice little gentle climb. So we're coming up to 5,500 feet though. So what we're going to do is attitude power trim. We're climbing at 500 a minute, so 50 feet away from this altitude. We're going to slowly start nosing down. So there it is right there. Let's start nosing down. Set the attitude for cruise attitude outside. Hold that. Let the airspeed build back up. Keep holding that force in. You can trim it as needed. Right. Now the airspeed's built back up.
Alpha, the Oshawa altimeter 2987.
87, Bravo Fox, thanks. Alrighty. Now that the airspeed's built back up, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to reduce my power to the cruise power. So we're going to say roughly, we'll call it 20, call it 23, 22. So we're going to first bring the manifold down. That's the throttle. I'll bring it a little lower than 22. You'll see why in a second. Just control the airplane a little bit here. And then I'm going to bring the blue handle back. As you bring the RPM back, this needle's actually going to increase. So watch this. I'm going to bring the RPM back. Notice that increasing, the manifold. Watch, I'll put the prop all the way in, and now I'll take the prop out. So it's always good to undershoot your desired setting on the manifold. That's a little trick I use anyways. So now we're 2200 squared for the cruise, and I'll get back on our cruise altitude of 5,500 here. Not looking in here, all that stuff doesn't matter. We're looking outside. We want to set the cruise attitude. I feel like I'm sitting a little high. There we go. So right now there's a little bit too much ground out the window. That's why we're descending. So we'll bring the nose back up just a little bit, and we'll get back to 5,500. Those pictures are so cool. Yeah, thanks, Vero. Yeah, that was a cool trip. We do that quite a bit, especially when I was instructing there. Everyone wanted to see the city, so it's a cool little tour you can do.
Taking the 1136 airborne, placing 1,000 feet.
Can 1136 Toronto identified. Climb flight level 350.
Down flight level 350.
Now, technically, guys, There's airspace coming up called Trenton. Trenton is a restricted airspace. It's a military base, so but you can get cleared through the zone if they let you through the zone as well. On the right side, we got Lake Ontario. There's Toronto in the background there.
Air Canada 1136, turn left direct Seekit on course.
Turn left direct Seekit, Air Canada 1136.
If you guys liking the stream, please go ahead and press the like button. Really appreciate that. Gonna hand fly this whole thing the way there. Pretty nice to hand fly with the Moza Yoke. It's fantastic for GA airplanes. The Moza Yoke comes alive with GA aircraft for sure. If you guys do want to check out or purchase your own Moza product, I really hope you'd use my link in the description, as it does support the channel, so I would really appreciate that. If you're looking for more of an airliner style yoke, I'd probably wait until Winwing brings theirs, or Wing Control brings theirs. Yeah, so we got this pretty well done here. 22, pretty close. Let's go ahead and now lean our mixture. There's no need to be running full rich mixture. We're just dumping fuel out the back. We're actually getting a pretty uneven burn. Because we're higher, the air is less dense. There's also less oxygen molecules the higher you get, which means basically we have more fuel to air ratio. We want to balance that ratio out. So I'm going to take the mixture away. I'm going to take some fuel away. And what you should hear is a rise in engine performance. You should hear a better engine performance. So I'm going to raise the sounds here. And we're just going to slowly bring the red knob out. And you can watch these gauges as well here. So here they're coming out now. The RPM's not going to change because it's a constant speed, right? So you probably actually only really hear it in a 172. But we're going to keep bringing this mixture out. You're going to hear the engine start to cough. Notice how we're starting to climb? I didn't climb. We're getting a little bit more power out of the airplane now, so I have to retrim ourselves. If I take too much fuel away, though, eventually it starts to cough, so we're going to go and add a little bit more fuel in. And now we're nice and leaned out. That's how much we brought the mixture out. Now we're nice and leaned out. So in doing this, we are increasing our range. I don't know the numbers in this type of airplane, but in a 172 with full rich mixture, you'll be running around 10 to 13 gallons per hour. But if you lean the mixture out properly, you can run as low as 5 to 7 gallons per hour. So you almost doubled your fuel range just by leaning out. Now in the POH of the 172, it advises you to do it 3,000 feet ASL or higher to start leaning, but I would lean even lower than that. I really didn't care. So we'll get ourselves retrim for that. Get back to our nice altitude that we're doing here. I'm gonna fix this view. It's a little high. Nose up a tiny bit to gain that 100 feet back, and then we'll go back to our cruise attitude. Alright, pushing forward on the yoke. I want 1/3 ground, just about like that, and the rest of it is sky. Very important to have a good seat position in the real airplane, and a good view in the sim setup. And if you hold that sight picture outside, it's called the sight picture, you hold this ratio between ground to sky, you'll remain level. That's the trick. Alright, let's see how we're doing here. Cylinder temperature's in the green. Let's go ahead and do our carb heat check. We're going to put some carburetor heat on. We've lost a little bit. But if you don't hear a rough running engine, then you have no ice. If you pull this, you pull the carb heat and you hear a rough running engine, leave the carb heat on. That means it's melting the ice. So if you pull that and the engine starts to run rough and it'll sound scary, keep it on because it's melting ice. You had ice. But we have nothing, so we'll put the carb heat back away.
Okay, 1138 Toronto identified, climb flight level 350.
Climb level 350.
There's probably a way to close the cowl flaps. Notice there's a cylinder head temperature here. Usually with that, there's usually a cowl flap. Cabin heat, cabin vent. It's probably pretty hot in here, so I'll probably put some a little bit of vent all out. Hear how loud it gets? That's pretty cool. They modeled that. Get a lighter. What's this? Oh, it's trim. That's a really bad spot for a trim. Ah, here are all the circuit breakers. That makes sense. See, they're under here. Couldn't find them earlier. That makes sense. Let's go over here. We're going to press menu. Go down to data fields. And let's grab menu again. Set up map. I want... weather's kind of cool. No, that's not what I want. Let's hold clear. Menu. Oops. Menu. Setup map. Map. I want track up. There we go. Now I can see where we're going.
Can 1138 turn left, direct saver on course.
Direct saver on course.
Direct saver on course at 1138.
Is it the dead key departure? Do we request a lower alt because of the clouds? No, we'll be fine. We're going to be under those. Now, if you were VFR and the clouds were in my path, then yes, I'd have to go lower. But no, these are going to be high. Those are like 8,000, 10,000 feet clouds. We'll be more than okay. But yeah, in real life, if you stuck to this heading, you would go through Trenton's airspace, which you're going to need a clearance to go through Trenton's airspace. And again, guys, we're using the active sky for the weather and real cat turb for the turbulence setting as well. Looks like no cowl flaps on the Comanche 50. Yeah, I guess not, eh? Thought there would be some out there, but guess not.
Bravo Fox right off for the Peterborough altimeter 294.
A4 Bravo Fox up, thanks. It's getting lower as we get this way. From high to low, look out below. So we're going from an area of high pressure, which is Toronto, into an area of low pressure, which is flying eastbound currently, as the altimeter settings have been getting decreasing as we're going this way. So if you go from an area of high pressure, like Toronto, to an area of low pressure, and you don't change your instrument, let's say I left it at Toronto's altimeter setting, it's showing me higher than I actually am. Now in mountainous airspace, where the pressure can change drastically, this could actually get you killed. So anytime you're going from a pressure from high pressure to low pressure, we have a saying which is high to low, look out below, which means high pressure to low pressure. If you didn't calibrate your instrument with the new setting, this is going to say you're higher than you actually are, if that makes sense. And then from low to high, you're in the sky. So if you go from area of low pressure to high pressure, if I were to turn around and go west in this case, my altimeter would be reading lower than I actually am. Yeah, Trenton, from my memory, is just on the edge over there. Now, you could do this. You could press direct, you know, CYGK, enter, and there you go. You got all the data. pretty good actually on my rough estimate. We still have 30 minutes to go. Well, you have a cabin altitude, it's just 0. Or it's just, it's like 35,000 feet. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you're doing well. If you guys are just joining the channel for the very first time as well, be sure to hit the subscription button and like and all that great stuff. In real world, I fly the CRJ900. I used to be a flight instructor, but I've moved over to the airline world, but I think coming up on 3 years now in the airline life. And now we're just doing a trip from Brampton to Kingston. You know what? We don't need all these lights and the fuel pump. That's my mistake. We'll turn all that off. Beautiful plane, man. A2A makes such amazing aircraft. I'm going to be an airline cadet soon. Any tips for getting the PPL? Not really. Just try not to be too hard on yourself for the PPL training. The PPL will be the hardest one because everything's kind of brand new. So try not to be too hard on yourself in that one, but try to enjoy it as much as possible. This airplane is very, very stable. I haven't touched the airplane in a while. This isn't autopilot. This is just flying along nicely, beautifully stabilized. You can go to our, obviously in real life you can't do this, but you can go to maintenance. You can inspect it, everything's still fine. Engine, see everything's still fine. So I think this is a way you can actually lean your engine out. If I go ahead and add more rich mixture, see, that's not what we want. We want it to be all green. See that? So now we're actually at a nice rich setting there. Or not rich setting, sorry, a nice lean setting. Let's go ahead and recapture altitude from the power difference. That away. How's it going? Not bad, virtual flight artist. Thank you so much for stopping by the way. We're flying the beautiful Piper Comanche by A2A Simulations. You made Moza profile for this aircraft? I did. Let me actually, someone asked for it. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in the what's it called, in my Discord. Go ahead and get this airplane all nicely retrimmed and everything. And we're going to go ahead and export that profile. Alrighty, I'm gonna go to the Discord and I'm gonna post it.
My plane is still upset with me. Can I get any lower? Down to 8,000, down to 8. Sorry for all of it.
My plane's still upset. profile's been posted. Thanks, can't wait to fly the sky. Yeah, man, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a really good time. Looks like the chase plane flyby feature's been fixed.
And the center United 88. Can we dump about 2,000 on the floor?
United 88 was requested, and let me know if you're looking for the records for delayed restrictions.
We'll let you know, United 88.
Oh, he's gonna need delayed vectors. 10,000 pounds. The way he asked that, it's so funny. We just dump a lot of dump our fuel here.
Correction, 2987.
87 Bravo Foxtrot, thanks. I don't think in real life Toronto Center doesn't go this far.
United 88 flight.
340
Dump fuel over St. Catharines. Yeah, get rid of it over there. No one wants that. I'm gonna fly the airplane later today. Need to review my 172 engine outflow. I love using the Comanche for training practice. Yeah, the Comanche is amazing. Not really much of a flow in an engine out in a 172, but yeah, the Comanche is fantastic. Really, really good stuff. He said cross this 17. That's not true at all. That's not true. What? No, that's not how that works in Canada at all. Canada in real life will never, ever give you descend via. I've never gotten it in 3 years of flying into Canadian airports. And if they give you 1.7 at Isting, that does not mean you're clear to keep descending into your. He's doing the Ling 3. I already know it. It's Isting Youth 250 knots above 11 below 13. So it's Isting, Ling, and Youth. So he's asking that because Youth has a cross restriction above 11 below 13, and he's given Isting at 17. And what that controller said, if I heard it correctly, is he gave him 17, and of us otherwise told he can descend via. That's what that sounded like. What did he say? It's quiet. He said, I'd have to go back in the recording, but if what I heard is correct, he said in Canada, if we give you a descent, then it's assumed like descent via the star or something like that. And that's, if maybe he missaid or maybe I misheard, but no, Canada will never give you a descent via. Fun fact. Let's say you've been given. Let's say you have to cross a certain waypoint at 10,000 feet, and you're VNaving or whatever. You're crossing at 10,000 feet, and they come around and say, "Hey, descend 8,000 feet." In the U.S., you can set 8,000 feet, and if you wanted to, you can drop like a rock right down to 8 and not cross that waypoint at 10. But in Canada, if they give you 8,000 feet, you still have to cross the waypoint at 10 and then continue to 8,000. So it's we have a lot of weird rules here, but from what he said, it sounded not correct at all. But maybe I misheard or misunderstood. But yeah, they'll never give you descend via in Canada. They have the ATC and the SIDS and the stars are just not built properly for it. Oh my gosh, we're just coming up to Trenton now. Holy crap! Let's be realistic about this. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna offset our course after. We're gonna go around the Trenton zone. Actually, looking at Shaston. At Center Bravo Fox Alpha, we're assuming we're cleared through the Trenton zone as well.
Bravo Foxtrot Alpha, yeah, that one's a Delta. But yeah, you're good to go through.
Thanks. It's Delta, but it's restricted. Yeah, so in real life, it actually, Center would transfer you to Trenton. And you'd have to get clearance to their zone.
Center United 88. Alrighty, so we are having problems
This guy's-
with our fuel system.
This guy's cracking me
We are
up.
going to be overweight on this landing. Well, therefore, I'm looking at my charts. I'm looking at a runway that is 11,000 feet long, 3-3 right. Is that something we can look at?
Let's take 2-3.
United 88, yeah, we could do that. You're going to be landing at the tail end though, so would you like 1-5 left instead?
Yeah, absolutely.
United 88, roger. In that case, you can plan for visual approach from...
I want to say on the comm right now that 23 is pretty
Planning
long.
visual 1-5 left, and we're just open to vectors whenever you're ready.
United 88, turn left today, 330.
Left 330, United 88.
I got schooled earlier for forgetting the fuel pump for engines restart. Oh, I see. Yeah. That guy's comms are funny. I know he's having a great time.
1013 to send 1000.
And I know he's
Send one
you know, just chilling, playing the game and stuff. But it's funny to hear his calls. He's like, yeah, the plane's still mad at me. I need to descend lower. Spin this just so it kind of makes sense. Spin that so it kind of makes sense. Now in real life, the compass and heading indicator would restrict to drift. This is based off a gyro vacuum gyroscope or gyroscopic instrument. But it seems like in the sim it doesn't really do that a whole lot. There's the Trenton Airport coming up, military base there. I don't think they really have anything cool, kind of some hercs and stuff. I'm gonna text United. How do I text? I want to text United 88. Request crash fire rescue in case the tires blow on landing, on the overweight landing. I want to text them, but I don't know how to text. 988's call sign.
United 88, turn left heading 300.
Left 300, United 88.
I don't want to say something so badly, but I'm going to get banned. It's not even that bad. Message, dot message, you, okay, perfect. Dot message, thank you. UAL 88. And we're not enough parameters. Dot message, is it one line? UAL 88.
Toronto Centre, hello, Speedbird 93, with good information, Bravo. We're inbound from the east, flight level 400.
Speedbird 93, Toronto Centre, squawk 2133.
There we go, I sent it, thanks.
2133, Speedbird 93.
Anytime, yeah. Just got it in there.
FedEx 1013, descend 8000.
I texted him,
Send 8,000, FedEx 1013.
think so?
United 88, I apologize. Down to 2,000.
Nope, sorry, that wasn't for you. You're good to stay at 4 for now.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
You're good. So United 88, descend to 3000.
Down to 3,000, United 88.
And United 88, speed 210.
Speed 210, United 88.
Whoops, I pressed Y there by accident. Yeah, I'm texting him saying, he's like, he's like, you gonna be in the fire truck? And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be the one in the fire truck, 'cause I told him to request crash fire rescue. Let's go ahead and get our altitude back. This airplane is so low, man. We've got 15 minutes to go. 5,500 feet. We do 1,000 a minute from 6 minutes away. We'll call it a day. Actually, do 500 feet a minute from 5,000 feet. Good enough.
And United 88, any specific distance of final that you'd like, or are you good with about a 5-mile final?
5? Holy
Preferably the longest one you can give me. Maybe 20-mile final for United 88.
10.
I can give you about a 12-mile final if that works.
That'll do.
The controller's trying to give him a 5-mile final. That's crazy, man. Guy's setting them up for failure.
And that will do for United 88. The reason I'm asking for such a long final is because I'm running through some of my non-normal checklists here for any possible chance of my tires exploding on landing here.
Okay, no worries. If you need some vectors as well, let me know.
Yeah, so real world in this case, what would be happening if he actually had a we had a cabin depressurization.
I will let you know. We're almost complete with them. We should be able to turn
and
in here.
then he has to, now he's landing overweight. So real life, if your fuel dumping for some reason doesn't work, you could just hold, because you're not in a dire, once you're below 10, the cabin pressurization's pretty much a non-event unless someone got hurt during the descent, and that becomes more of an actual real concern. But let's say the cabin explosive decompression descended, everybody's still survived and they're all fine, and now you're just landing overweight. You can elect to land overweight, or you can just wait that out and burn the fuel in a hold if your fuel dumping doesn't work, or you just can't dump fuel for whatever reason. You can just hold, do some circles, and wait. But he's electing to land overweight. So what would be happening in real life if you're going to choose to do that? One, you'd have to advise ATC, which you did. Second one, you'd have to advise dispatch that he's doing that. Then you'd have to advise the flight attendants in the back, saying, hey, it's going to be an overweight landing. They'll go through they're trained to ask you if it's a normal landing, abnormal landing, emergency landing. So I'd probably call this abnormal in this case, because everything should work out fine, but with an overweight landing, you could potentially have probably wouldn't, but you could potentially have a gear failure, a gear maybe collapse on you. You're going to be using a lot more runway length as well, because you'll be at a higher speed. Brake temperatures might be a factor. So I'd call it an abnormal landing. I would also call for crash fire rescue in real life as well, maybe on the runway. But in real life, in his situation right now, I wouldn't be doing an overweight landing. I would just, I'd hold. In real life, obviously. Video game land, I'd probably do what he's doing. But yeah, in real life, if your fuel dumping doesn't work, just do some circles for about 2 hours.
Descent 4,000.
Descent 4,000, FedEx 1013.
And then also in real life, we'd get everything kind of all set up. We'd have the approach set up. We do our approach briefing. Everybody would be in the loop. We're all set up. We'd be on delayed vectors, and only when everything is completed and we're all ready to go, all the checklists have been completed, all that stuff's been done, then we commence the approach. We would not commence an approach while doing checklists. It gets too busy in real life doing all that kind of stuff. So that's why the controller's asking them for delayed vectors. And usually what that means is you'll be on, like, let's say there's a runway straight ahead of me. They'd be vectoring me, like, let's say I'm landing this way. They vector me left and right, on just on this final approach course. I'd be going like this, and then once I tell them I'm ready, they'll come and let me go in the on the final.
Okay, 1455, climb flight level 320. United 88, turn left heading 240.
Left 240, United 88.
And are you ready to come in, or would you like a vector through the final for some more time?
See, that's what he's asking for.
I believe I'm as ready as I'm going to be, United 88.
It's a confident answer.
United 88, roger. In that case, fly heading 150.
Left 150, United 88.
I kind of want to go to Pearson and watch. Well, guys, in our flight, we've got about 11 minutes remaining. We're going to start descending around 3 minutes. I got to grab the circuit height for Kingston. It's probably like 1,700 from memory. something like that. I don't know. Yoam's in here. What's the circuit height for Kingston?
And United 88, the airport's going to be about your, once you're on that turn, about your 11 o'clock for 13 miles.
We will call when we have airport in sight, United. We have airport in sight, United 88.
United 88, roger, cleared visual approach runway 15 left.
Toronto Center, this is Air Canada 34, climbing at 10,000.
Lock to base. Sorry, I stepped on you there, Bravo Foxtrot Alpha Sagan.
No, someone else is calling you. They blocked United 88 there. That guy was yelling at the top,
Sorry, who else is calling?
Top of his lungs. I think it was an Air Canada I heard, but I'm not sure. That guy was super loud, man.
Was that 1455? Did you need something? Okay.
Why delayed vector instead of hold, or just some options they can choose? Yeah, so D3, if you want to hold, you can hold. Delayed vectors are nice because instead of
88 wind 1607 knots, clear to land.
instead of just being in a circle, you can be basically on the approach. You'll be going like,
clear for the rollout,
south. Okay, now turn north. Okay, now turn south. And then when you're ready to go, you just turn on the final and get going. Holds are good too, though. You can do that as well.
We'll kill United 88, thank you.
1300, Yoam says. Perfect. Air Canada 3-4. I'll let him call again. I kind of want to hear him call again. That guy was so loud. He cut off the United guy. He's like overpowering the frequency. He wasn't stepped on. He was stomped on. That's correct. I'm having a good time with this. I'm not even flying. This airplane flies so well in cruise, especially with the Moza Yoke guys. It's fantastic. She flies nice and straight. So a quick way to figure out descent, we need to lose, let's see, we're at 5,500 feet, circuit's 13, we'll call it 1,000 for easy numbers. So we got to lose basically 4,500 feet, give or take, more like 42. Easiest way to do that.
Bravo Foxtrot Alpha, surveillance service terminates Kingston altimeter 2987, switch to Kingston radio 122.5. Have a good day.
22.5, good luck, United. We'll see you over there. There we go. Let's switch over to frequency. 22. I kind of want to hear it though. 22.5.
Simba 93, we're ready to descend flight level 240, and we're on the Bema 9. You have to...
There we go. Love the radio com? Yeah. Well, we're on Kingston good old radio, which I don't think anybody's online, but we'll just make our regular traffic calls. We need to report, we'll report 5 miles into the zone there, so we got 7 minutes to go. Oh no. Yo, fam, bro, Fox Alpha?
Yo, fam, it's Golf Bomber November, fam. How are you doing?
Oh, it's Brain Rock Kingston ATC.
Kingston traffic. It's McKinney Mike Golf Bomber November. Backtrack runway 19 from Bravo. Kingston rating.
Last call. I think that call sign's a little too long to be a call sign.
No, McKinney Mike Golf Bomber November. Please say correct.
I knew this was gonna happen. Yoham's gonna get on stream. I'm gonna go back to Toronto and Center and report a wrong call sign on Freak. Anyways, we need 4,200 feet to lose. So if we do 1,000 feet per minute, that's 4 minutes to the field. We can do a nice little 500 feet per minute. That'll be good enough for us. 19 is going to be the runway in use, so we can come in right for a mid-left downwind. Hey, Yoam, is it left circuit on 19 or right circuits? I don't have my CFS available to me right now. Left circuit or right circuit 19? Really hope it's a left circuit, because then I can just go. I can do a beautiful mid-left downwind. Kingston's coming up in the distance.
Left.
Roger that. So yeah, we're planning the mid-left downwind into runway 19.
Kingston traffic, Golf Papa November on the roll, runway 19 remaining, so good Kingston.
Different call sign. I'm gonna give the most precise and overcomplicated radio call that I can possibly think of or give. Normally I would just say 5 miles to the west, 5,500, planning mid-left downwind 19. Or 5 minutes to the west, I should say. But we're gonna try to say something. Stand by. I need a town. Are there any town names? Oh, they're just giving town names. Okay, well, anyways. Kingston Radio, it's Bravo Foxtrot Alpha, approximately 20 miles to the north of Trenton, 15 miles to the, 20 miles east of Trenton, 15 miles west of Kingston, 4 minutes, 49 seconds, 4 minutes, 48 seconds, 40 minutes, 47 seconds, now expecting the field in 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Our speed is 160 knots, 5,500 feet. We are currently level, planning a descent in approximately 2 minutes. Fuel flow is great, gear's still up. We'll be expecting the field now in 4 minutes, 33 seconds.
How's the overweight landing going?
No idea. We'll be planning mid-left downwind runway 19, expecting the field in 4 minutes, 25 seconds.
Yeah, we're going to be a left past foot runway because we're flying a 2-hour flight and we might land overweight.
I think everybody should know where I am with, with that radio call. Doing the teardrop? No, we're just gonna do mid-left downwind. Extended downwind? No, we're just gonna cut the airfield in half, basically. So if you look at this, I guess you can't really see it, but the runway basically goes that way.
Some traffic, Golf Papa November, left
like
downwind,
this. So we're just gonna fly overhead at circuit altitude, left downwind, base, final, and that's it. All right, about 3 minutes to the field. Let's go ahead. We're gonna do we'll do power attitude trim. First, we'll go mixture full rich, and we'll go ahead and bring our power out. And the airplane's naturally gonna start descending here. Gonna target about 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, I need to put my coordinates. There's the airport right there. Kingston traffic, it's Bravo Foxtrot Alpha, 8 miles to the west, 5,500 descending, circuit altitude, we're planning mid-left downwind 19, full stop. It's the gear warning, my fault. So there's a runway right there, guys. We're gonna cut this circuit in half. We're gonna go over the runway like this, turn left this way, and then turn left for final. Come into some busy airspace here, and we're gonna be landing soon. So let's get our landing lights on, fuel pump can come back on. Let's do one check of the, oh, not that one. Let's do one check of the carburetor heat. Looking fine. Put that back in. On the downwind, we'll do our downwind checks and our GUMPS check on the base. And GUMPS from memory stands for gas undercarriage mixture prop. No pressure, this normal? Yeah. Yeah, this is, are you talking about, is the mid-left downwind normal? Yeah, the mid-left downwind is a normal entry procedure we do up to the north. We don't really do those dog-leg things that the US likes to do.
Traffic, Golf Papa November, turning final 19 Kingston.
Okay, so Mr. Yoham is turning final. I don't really see him. Okay, guys, we're going down to 1,300 feet is the circuit altitude. I'll put the cameras back on so you guys can see. Kingston traffic. Bravo Fox Alpha is overhead the field now. 2,057, 1,300. Joining mid left downwind, number 19. Kingston. Never the overhead technically, but about to be. Gonna make that altitude a little better. We're just gonna make it. Did start my descent a little late. There's the final traffic right there, Mr. Johan. And a little toy. There's 13. Let's pull all the way up, all that G-force. There we go. We're gonna leave my power back. I'm gonna get the airspeed back for our circuit here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There's Johan right there. Go. We're gonna hold this in the cruise attitude here. Let's turn on my track IR. Kingston traffic, Bravo Fox Alpha turning down, remember 19. Let's go ahead and get flight recorder all started. Alrighty, on the downwind here, let's go ahead and get a little bit slower. We're going to grab the gear down on the downwinds. Alrighty, gear down. Let's move that camera a bit so you guys can see a bit better. There we go. And a little bit more this way. There you go. Alright. Alrighty. Temperature pressure's in the green. Lights are all on. Mags are on both. We've got the pressure there. We've got our props to full forward. Do one notch of flap, turn base. Bravo Fox Alpha's can strap Bravo Fox Alpha, turn base 19. There we go. We got gas, undercarriage, green light, mixture, and prop is full forward. That is our Gumps check completed. About 500 feet a minute or so works quite well on a base. Usually. Depending how far you went. Let's get our second notch of flap out on the base here. Those pappies look like they're incorrect. They're kind of halfway down the runway. I'm not going to use those. Kingston traffic, Bravo Fox Alpha is turning final runway 19, full stop 19.
Kingston traffic, Papa Echo November, downwind 19. Actually, I'm landing overweight.
Alright, on the final path here, let's go flap full. Now we're shooting, the book says 90, but I find that 80 works actually better in the flight simulator land, but 80, 85, somewhere around there. So we're going to go ahead and decrease my power a little bit. We're also going to go ahead and nose trim up a little bit for that decrease in power. There we go. And now we can add our power back in to hold us at this speed and path, descent path we got going for ourselves. Bit of a long final. That's okay. It has a bit of a displaced threshold. Technically, in the daytime, you actually can land on that, but we're going to aim for the actual threshold. Try to move this camera real quick so you guys can see a bit better. There we go. And let's get back on the center line. Now when the runway is made, which means we can glide and still make it, we're going to go power idle nice and smoothly, and eyes are going to go way to the end. Our eyes are going to go over here on the flares where we're going to look. Right now I'm looking here. Our eyes are going to go to the end. So runway's made, power idle. Looking all the way to the end. Hold it off. Nice. Walk the nose gear down. Get the center line still. I think that was actually kind of flat. I thought it was flaring quite a bit, but not much. Should have made that exit. have to spin around here. Oh my god, it's so far. Yeah, okay, let's spin around. Kingston traffic is Bravo Fox Alpha. We're backtracking runway 07, correction 19. We'll be exiting on Bravo. Yeah, we definitely could have made that exit, but I didn't really. Actually didn't really need any brake. I didn't really apply any brakes, and it stopped quite good. So we got clear the runway here.
Kingston traffic, Papa Echo November, final 19.
Ah!
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, jeez. Alright, exiting Bravo. Alright, we'll come to a stop, do our after landings. Idle at 1,000. I'm going to go ahead and turn our landing lights off, strobe lights off, beacon can stay on, fuel pump can come off. Let's go a lean on the mixture. Retract those flaps. Altimeter, transponder to standby. And we are good to go. There is an afterline checklist you can do to make sure. Flap, strobes, fuel pump mixture, trim. Trim back to neutral here. There we go. Afterland check is completed. Turn off our replay there. Oops. I think the FAA just likes teardrops and all that. Most US pilots just do the square, same as you're doing. Yeah. I think the worst built airport. I have to cross a runway again. Thanks, Vero. Appreciate that. I think this guy's a real pilot. I don't know. Some I have my days. Okay, so traffic Bravo Fox Alpha is crossing runway 25 Bravo. Turn off the cameras.
In Kingston traffic, it's Golf Papa Echo November vacating 19 at Bravo.
No comment. Alright, we're clear on the left. And we're clear on the right side. Can't wait till they release their 172. For touch and go, do we need to crank that trim to normal? Touch and go, it'd be in your best interest to do so. If you don't, you'd have to hold quite a lot of nose down pressure on the touch and go. Isn't it illegal? Isn't it legal for you guys to just start speaking French on frequency? Yeah. At an uncontrolled airport, yes. And a controlled airport if it's in Quebec.
Kingston traffic, Papa Echo November, crossing 25 Bravo, taxiing Hangar 4.
We're gonna go right to the Kingston Flying Club. I have no idea where to park here, but we're just gonna park right here. Call it a day. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and spin this airplane around, full yoke up. Yoke all straight. Or the nose gear all straight, I should say. Hold the brakes. Hold idle at 1,000. Alrighty, we're going to turn the avionics master switch off. We're going to go ahead and kill the mixture. Set the parking brake on. Magnetos are all off. Beacon off. Master off. And we can pull that to full course as well. It doesn't really matter if we leave it in, to be honest. And we could put our tie downs in there. Do the checklist real quick. Parking brake. Radios are off. Transponder is off. Well, it's standby. It's fine. Avionics master off. Master switch is off. Throttle is closed. Mixture guide cut off. Magnetos off. Control wheel is secured. Doors and windows are and tie downs. Sweet. What we could do here is press controls. I'm going to turn cockpit persistence off because of the replay we're about to do. So let's control lock back off, parking brake back off, battery avionics. Let's fire it back up. Disconnect from VATSIM. Get strobe, beacon, landing, fuel pump. That'll be good enough, and we can do our replay now. And we'll get our flaps to full. Alright guys, so we had it roughly at the roughly in the downwind leg here. My yoke is going nuts right now. Just holding it off, holding it off. That was flat. I should have flared a little bit more. At least it wasn't a hard touchdown, so at least the nose gear didn't take too much of a brunt force, but that was pretty bad. Yeah, I had to pitch up a little bit more. It's kind of weird. From the flight deck, it looks like it's pretty nose high, but I guess not. It's just running like trash in here with the replay. That's crazy. Yeah, look at that. That's just flat. Huh. Alright, we learn something every day. Gotta flare a little bit more. Let's do one more of these. I'll practice here. Stop replay. The engine's, you can hear the engine's like dying.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Okay. I think that was the Garmin there. So I'll have to flare this thing a lot more.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Don't know why that's happening. Anyways.
Wind shear, wind shear.
I don't think it likes the
shear.
replay. Let's go power idle. Going all the way down to the end. Gonna flare. More than I think.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Can barely see outside the runway. We're gonna press stop runway, replay, there we go. We'll watch this one. It's a lot more of a flare than required.
Wind shear,
What
wind
is
shear,
that? That's
wind
so
shear.
annoying. Let's turn this off, I can. Yeah, centerline was pretty bad, but I'm kind of getting more trying to see.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
That was still pretty flat. Sorry for the wind shear, guys. We're gonna end the stream here anyway. I'll do one little last replay.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Don't even know why that's happening. This is a ground proximity warning system, but Yeah, it's a very high flare. It didn't feel that high. Sorry.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
It feels high in the flight deck, but it's not that high in the actual outside view.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Maybe I'm sitting too low. Let's stop replay. Let's get chase plane out.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Let's turn that off. Let's just turn everything off. There you go. Stop. Stop, 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 stop. That is how not to turn it off at an engine, by the way.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
Maybe I should sit up here. There we go. We'll set that as a view. We'll save there, and we're going to call it a stream.
Wind shear, wind shear.
Yeah, this wind shear.
Wind shear.
Nice fun. Enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Thank you guys for all stopping by. We're going to do a DCS stream as well soon. And probably later tonight, actually, we'll do a DCS stream. So we'll see you guys there. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you on the next one.
Wind shear.
Let's turn that off. Bye, guys.